hope your day is full of cheddar cheese and jack cheese and Swiss cheese and goat feta, spreadable cheese whiz. I really thought, like, coming into this intro, I thought to myself, I'm going to nail it. I'm going to come with some exotic cheeses. I'm going to come with cheeses people haven't even heard of. And then I started the intro and I just went full cheese numb. Like, nothing came to my mind. All of a sudden, I was like, what cheese even exists? American cheese came into my head first, and I was like, ugh, American cheese is so fucking disgusting. I don't think anyone knows what American cheese is. And it comes in that little paper. Nothing says I'm single more than a bitch eating Kraft singles. You heard it here on Shenk. Guys, we have an amazing episode for you this week with myself. I answer some of your fun questions. We talk everything from my favorite holidays to the naughty things I do with almond butter. By naughty things I do, I mean the amount of almond butter I eat. I sometimes get a spoon and treat myself, but you'll find out about that more later in this episode. Guys, I'm a little bit stoned right now. Anyone who knows me knows that I love my weed. I have tried so many different types of weed. I have tried so many different dispensaries, but my honest and truthfully favorite dispensary is in Palm Desert, and it's at Libra Shops. Follow them on Instagram at Libra Shops. If you're passing through the Palm Desert area, whether you're driving to Arizona or just coming to Palm Springs, Palm Desert, coming to LA from Arizona, swing by. Tell them Shenk sent you. Follow them at Libra Shops. They have the best selection of cannabis. It's so well curated. You can also order online if you're afraid of coronavirus, and there is a delivery. So support them. They support the show. So show them some love. They have incredibly knowledgeable budristas. Some people say, hey, Sarah, what's a budrista? And I say, hey, it's a bud tender, but more refined. And not everywhere has budristas, but Libra Shops does. Check them out. LibraShop.com. Follow them at Libra Shops on Instagram. Show them some love because they support the show. Guys, also super excited to show you what I just got in the mail. So many fun things from Oh Yeah Socks. You could head to ohyeah.com. That's 3 zeros HYEAH.com. ohyeah.com. And it's also in the description of this episode. They sent me so many fun socks. Look, we got aliens and hats. We have a pair of Bob Ross socks. If you're not watching the video, then I highly recommend going to my YouTube so you can see what these socks look like, or checking out Oh Yeah Socks. That's 3 zeros HYEAH socks on Instagram. They have so many fun different socks designs by amazing different graphic designers. So they collab with different graphic designers to bring fun prints, and I have a discount code that's Sara10. So get 10% off. You're going to always need socks, pandemic or no pandemic. These burger ones, how cute are these? I think those are my favorite right now, the burger socks. They also have masks. I know a lot of you have ugly masks. I've seen you out with those ugly surgical masks. Look at this. Oh yeah, socks. Rainbows, and I have a discount code, and they have Bob Ross masks, they have skeleton masks, they have shark teeth masks. They collab with all these different fun graphic designers to bring so many amazing prints, so many great designs. Look at these Mork and Mindy socks. What? These ones I'm keeping for myself. We love anything with Robin Williams. We love a Mork and Mindy sock. And Mr. Rogers socks. That's him with his puppet. So yeah, follow Oh Yeah Socks. Discount code Sara10. That's SARA10. You could head to ohyeah.com. The information for that, as well as information for Libra Shops, is all in the description of this podcast episode. And I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Shenk. Here it is, guys. Thanks so much. Guys, hi, it's me, Shenk. Welcome to another episode of Shenk with me, Shenk. I decided that I was going to spend this week and last week catching up with you guys, connecting with you, talking some things out with you, giving you a little more of Shenk to love. If you didn't listen to me on the Honeydew with Ryan Sickler, check it out, show some love, share it with your friends. I had a really fun time doing that podcast. And if you're here because you found out about my podcast from the Honeydew, then welcome. I have some questions that you guys sent me. New podcast episodes come out every Wednesday. Just a heads up about that. Last week we were a day late, which never happens, but my production assistant was out of town and we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. So you can always expect a new episode to drop on Wednesday. If you haven't subscribed on iTunes or Spotify, go ahead and do that now. Get into it. Guys, I have some questions that you have sent me that I'm going to answer, and then I'm just going to talk to you about what's been on my mind lately. Okay, so somebody asked me, like, is there a holiday that I really, really go hard on when it comes to celebrating? And the truth of the matter is, this might surprise you guys, but this bitch fucking loves Christmas. I love it. It's not as magical as it was when I was a child because I realized that Santa Claus is not real. However, waking up on Christmas morning, there is truly no better feeling of just warmth and love. And those are just my experiences with Christmas. I mean, listen, I'm a Jew as well. Hanukkah, we did sometimes, wasn't as magical. I gotta be honest, lacked the magic. Does that mean that Jews aren't special? No, it just means that Hanukkah lacks the charm that Christmas has. I'll say it. Spinning the dreidel got nothing on a stocking. There is nothing more exhilarating to me than pulling a gift out of a Christmas stocking. And a lot of times it's just a dumb trinket, but nothing makes me feel good than getting a tchotchke on Christmas morning. As a kid, however, the worst feeling on Christmas morning is opening a present and hoping that it's something cool and it's a puzzle or a book. Look, I'm not a puzzle girl. Puzzles, to me, it's like, why? I'm going to take pieces of cardboard that have been cut into 1,000 little pieces and I'm going to smash them together to form a picture. The end result isn't worth the painstaking process of puzzle building to me. You know, like some people are like, yeah, it's meditative. I just kick back and I just, recreate Van Gogh paintings by myself as I sort through these 1,000 pieces. Sure, my husband left me and I can't afford my mortgage, but this puzzle's really something. Puzzle people, they're different than me. Anyone who wants to literally dig around looking for pieces of a larger picture and they think that is fun, they're not my people. Later we find out I have puzzle trauma. Something happened to me in childhood involving a puzzle. I couldn't complete it, okay? I don't know how I got into the subject of puzzles, but this is a free speaking pod. We get into different subjects. We cover different things. There is not just one subject on Shenk, Normally we cover fashion, but as the world slowly crumbles, people are caring less and less about fashion. I did have somebody ask me what color top to wear with a pair of burgundy pants, and it was a guy. So if you guys have specific fashion questions and you have images, send those in an email to shenk, shenk.pod@gmail.com. Again, that's shenk, shenk.pod@gmail.com. I do answer fashion questions there. It's hard for me to be able to pair a pair of pants without seeing the top. But burgundy pants will probably go with everything unless they're really, really ugly. Okay, let's see. Somebody asked me if I prefer rainy nights or early run rises. Okay. I don't think I've ever once woken up early for a run. Maybe a power walk. Rainy nights, If I'm not doing stand-up, I like a rainy night. If there's a fire in the fireplace, a lover in bed with me, and a dog curled at my feet, then sure, I like a rainy night. But if I'm struggling in traffic going from one show to another show and worried about skidding around the wet floors of Los Angeles, then I don't like a rainy night. Depends on where I am. You know, people ask these questions and then I come back with even more questions because I'm like, what is really going on? Also, I got attacked for using the word like too much on the Ryan Sickler podcast. I've said this quite a few times. Can you tell I have PTSD from it? No, I did. I used the word like too much and people commented on it. And some of them said that I sounded entitled, and others of them said that I was talking like that on purpose to sound more like a Kardashian. First of all, nobody wants to sound more like a Kardashian. Last I checked, people are trying to not sound like Kardashians when they talk. Also, if I was going to pick an accent to talk in, why the fuck would I pick a Valley Girl accent? That would it just makes me sound stupid. I am who I am, baby. It's like, get on board or don't listen, you know? That's all I have to say about that. Okay, comfort food. Somebody wanted to know about what comfort food your girl is into. And for this, I say, wow, there are so many decadent options when it comes to comfort food. To start, I love a mac and cheese. Give me a 4-cheese mac, gourmet, put lobster in it, a lobster mac and cheese, a truffle mac and cheese. I can't say the words truffle mac and cheese without my mouth salivating. So that's where I'm at. I don't know what that means. I also love stuffing. That seems like comfort food because you can't eat stuffing when it's not a major holiday unless you're obese. Do you know what I mean? You're like, let me crumble up pieces of bread and sausage and just scarf that down with some gravy when it's not a holiday. There are certain foods that people can eat during holidays that we can't eat year round. For example, ham. Nothing like a Christmas ham. But if you were to eat ham on a random Thursday, that's a different type of lifestyle that I'm not necessarily on board with. You're eating ham on Wonder on a Thursday, there's something wrong. I think ham and stuffing are holiday foods only. You heard it here on Shenk. Cranberry sauce. I fucks with cranberry sauce, but don't come here with that canned shit. Keep your canned cranberry sauce to yourself. You always know it's canned because you can see the little ridges from the can when you dump it out. It's like, so you've sprung on ocean spray. How kind of you. Some days I think I'll get a haircut. Other days I realize that may never happen, at least not in 2020. Someone asked me if I had to free one animal from the zoo, what would it be and why? Well, they didn't say why. They just said, what would it be? But I'm going to tell you what it would be and why. A flamingo. Because I think that it would be really funny and really out of place to just be walking and to see a flamingo. It's actually all for kicks, baby. I got a flamingo and I took him to the mall, spent the day with him. I think he would kill on my Instagram, really fits with my aesthetic. What I'm saying is my spirit animal is a flamingo. Yes, I stand on one leg. God was very high when she invented the flamingo. She was like, we need a pink bird. Let's do it. It's here to be whimsical and amazing. I will say that at a certain point, you have to stop believing in unicorns, which hurts me to say, but I see some of these bitches out here. They're really deep into the unicorn world. They're really deep into like whimsy. And as somebody who loves whimsy, I will say you can't go too hard with whimsy. Nothing's more scary than when one person has decided that they are obsessed with a single animal and then they buy everything that's animal themed like that. I had this dentist. He was obsessed with frogs. Him and his wife met in a science dissection class. So they themed the whole dentist office with frogs. And it was a lot. Nothing says I'm mentally unstable more than a lot of one type of animal everywhere. Walking into a frog-themed dentist office is a red flag. I'm contributing to this man who cleans my teeth's frog collecting habits. It looked like a clearance rack of home goods threw up in his dental office space. But I will say, the thing that I miss the most about that dentist office is that they would play these very romantic songs while I was getting my teeth cleaned. And there was something oddly comforting about it. I've always loved a romantic song. For a while, I really, really got into love songs on the coast, on Coast 103.5. For some reason, everyone on the coast sounds like this. They say, "Hi, I'm Karen Sharp, and thank you so much for coasting along today." It is 87 degrees in Pacoima, 88 degrees in Los Angeles, and it is 79 degrees along the coast. We're going to get back to the love lines, but before that, I'm going to go ahead and read a note that Walter wrote for Samantha. And Walter writes, "Samantha, from the moment I saw you across the hall, I knew that you were unlike any other woman. Blah, 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 blah." And Walter would like to dedicate this song by Lionel Richie to you all night long. Here it is. All night long. And then there's a whole fucking thing. Like, there was a phase in my life where I would listen to love songs on the coast more than I'm comfortable with. And there was something about it that just was like oddly nostalgic and sad. I think the music that you listen to as a kid defines who you are. What I'm saying is I listened to too many love songs as a child, and because of that, I am insanely fucked up. I'm like, I'll leave and he'll come chasing after me. No, bitch, that's not what's gonna happen. You just listened to too much Michael Bolton. You listened to too much Michael Bublé. You listen to Don Henley a little too much. You're not going to get to the heart of the matter. You know? We need more love songs in 2020 is what I'm saying. Like, can we have a love song that's not written by Ed Sheeran? How about that? Ugh. I don't know why I decided I have a problem with Ed Sheeran. I do, though. And it's not because he's a redhead. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to all my redheads. Love you. Dated a redhead. Wasn't for me. Not so much the fact that he was a redhead, but more so that him as a person wasn't for me. Okay, didn't need to even go there. Somebody had a question and they wanted to know if they should hook up with their toxic ex again during the pandemic. Yes or no? I mean, this seems like a very obvious answer. I could tell you that the answer is no. If this person is toxic, this would be the time to rid yourself of any toxic situations, considering the world is already upside down. It's like, better yourself. You deserve more than a toxic relationship. Yeah, tomorrow's not guaranteed. We're in the middle of a global pandemic with no end in sight. Like, do what you want. However, if you're asking me if you should get back involved with a toxic relationship, you already know the answer, which is no. The keyword in this question is toxic. My favorite shampoo, I use Ouai, which is spelled O-U-A-I. It's for fine hair. I use that as my shampoo, and then my conditioner, I use Bumble and Bumble Surf. Okay, because your girl Shenk has decided that her hair is in a surf look phase, meaning I condition with this conditioner that makes my hair more wavy because it has salt in it, I guess. I don't know. I might be a sucker. I spend probably too much money on shampoo, but I do find that it makes a really big difference. That's for the girl who asked the shampoo question. Okay. People wanted to know what are my favorite weed and food pairings. First of all, I love a sativa. I love a Blue Dream. I love anything lemony, citrusy. I love like a sour diesel. I love That's kind of my wheelhouse. I like a pineapple-y weed. I like a mango-y weed, a citrusy weed, sativas mostly. And I love a cheese plate. I have mastered the art of cheese plates. And I will say it's an art. There are people out there who don't have what it takes to create a cheese plate. They simply lack the knowledge. They simply lack the tools. Not me. I have an undisclosed location, Best Cheese in Los Angeles. If you know me personally, you can slide in my DMs and I'll give you that recommendation. If I don't know you personally, sorry. I get involved with my cheese plates. I don't fuck around when it comes to charcuterie. Yes, there's grapes. Yes, there's olives. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that a Humboldt Fog cheese? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that a rare goat cheese? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that a Monchengo? Is that a peppered salami? Is that a sopressata? Are those artisanal olives? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I was such a gifted homemaker and woman. My cheese plate game is so strong that even I'm shook. Like, one woman should not be this good at cheese plating. People say, Sarah, maybe you have a future in cheese plating. And I'm like, no, I'm in it for the love of the game, baby. You start doing something for a career, it takes the love right out of it. But not podcasting. Okay. Yeah, I would like to free a flamingo. I don't know. Do people care? Like, hey, Sarah, if you could free one animal from the zoo, what would it be? A fucking flamingo. A bomb pop versus a fudge pop. Okay, I gotta be honest. As a kid, I think I ate too many fudgicles because they do not appeal to me. I also ate too many of those Nature Valley bars. I don't know if you guys had those growing up, but they would come 2 in a pack and they would be disgusting. They're disgusting. I think I had them too much as a kid. They were the honey flavor. There'd be 2 granola bars. I could never even get through one of them. The taste alone makes me cringe. It tastes like a piece of cardboard that's like soaked in honey. Blech. Yuck. I don't know. So yeah, as a kid, I had too many fudgicles. So I'm going bomb pop all the way. And even bigger than just bomb pop, I'm going sour bomb pop. I don't know if you've had a sour bomb pop. I stumbled upon a sour bomb. I'd like to buy a vowel. I stumbled upon a sour bomb pop while I was out at a park. And let me tell you, that fucking killed the game. I love a sour flavor. I thought maybe as an adult I would have grown out of that. I know, as a kid, I was slamming down Warheads. I was slamming down Airheads. You name it, I was slamming it down. The more sour, the better, And I thought that as an adult I would grow out of that. But honestly, my love for the sour candy remains. Let's see. Burgundy pants. We already went over that. My favorite field of science. Now, this is an interesting question because I've never really thought of science in that way. I haven't been like, I'm a geek for biology. I'm wet for chemistry. That's just not my vibe. I'm fascinated by the universe and quantum physics. I think that's all really interesting. And all of Stephen Hawking's work, I'm into that. That's my science shit, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like a young Marie Curie. I don't know shit. I'm still trying to figure out how DNA works. I'm like, I'm sorry, what's a ribosome? I'm sorry, what's a double helix strand? Did I ever finish school? Like, you learn things in school and you, at the time, you really feel like you're never going to forget those things. But then as time goes on, you're like, I'm sorry. The only thing I remember from math is that an acute triangle is less than 90 degrees and an obtuse one is above 90 degrees and a right angle is 90 degrees. And what do these things do for me? Absolutely fucking nothing. I could sit here and talk polygons with you all day. I could talk rhombuses with you. I could talk trapezoids. I could talk Pythagorean theorem, but I'm not going to do that today. Why? Because this is not a math podcast. The things that you learn in school, for some reason, there are certain things in school that you never get over, the like haunting moments. For me, it was in 3rd grade when the girl sitting next to me threw up Fruit-Rollup. It was a very distinct smell, and then the janitor had to come in and put birdseed over the Fruit-Rollup vomit. And I may never forgive that girl for projectile vomiting Fruit-Rollup next to me. I just remember having to endure the scent of vomit Fruit-Rollup for the rest of the day. I also really miss the feeling of wearing new shoes back to school. I mean, I am so thankful that I do not have children that I have to teach right now, okay? Because can you even imagine? Can you imagine? You're trying to do a Zoom meeting and you're also trying to teach your kid how to multiply. That's when you say, I already went to school. I said that last podcast, but I think that's really true. I think a lot of parents do that. They hold the fact that they went to school over your head and they're like, I already finished 4th grade, so I don't need to help you with this. And it's like, well, you're my mom, so can you? Can you help me with this? Curious about piggy banks. Are you guys from the school of thought in which you hit a piggy bank with a hammer to get the goods out of it when it is time? Because that seems aggressive. It seems like a mess. It seems unnecessary. And it's like, is it worth the change that's in the piggy? Probably not. The amount of time that you're going to spend cleaning is probably, I mean, how much is the most that could possibly be in a piggy bank? I guess it depends on the size of the piggy bank. What I'm saying is I never got into piggy banks. Might have been a mistake. Now there's like a coin shortage. I really don't know what's happening in the world anymore. Sometimes it's easier to just disconnect and live in a bubble. I know there was some drama with Bella Thorne for going on OnlyFans. She's an actress. She went on OnlyFans, pissed off all the sex workers because then they had to adjust the pricing. And here's the thing. Bella Thorne, you don't need OnlyFans. OnlyFans are for the babies out there, the mommies out there trying to make that money. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. OnlyFans. Wasn't planning on getting into OnlyFans. Don't have an OnlyFan. Hanging on to the little dignity that I have left. No plans on getting an OnlyFans anytime soon. And I'd love to keep it that way. You know, I have a dress on. This isn't the image of a girl who would thrive on OnlyFans. Yeah, I also have a deep, deep love for almond butter. I don't know if you guys feel the same way about almond butter, but almond butter, if I'm high and I'm around almond butter, it's game over. There are some combinations I do. I do almond butter with a dried fig or a date or a banana almond butter oat milk blended together. She's a queen and a goddess and thinks of her own combos along the way. Somebody wanted to know what type of music I'm into. I have a really, really wide range of music. I like everything from the Pixies to Nick Cave to the latest Taylor Swift, Lana Del Rey. Love Lana Del Rey, gotta be honest. The thing with Lana Del Rey is she seems like so tragic, and everything that she's saying just sounds poetic, even if it's not. She could just be talking about traffic on the 405, but the way she says it, she's like, traffic on the 405. That's definitely not how she sounds. Was I planning on doing my own impression of Lana Del Rey? No, but this is basically the one woman Shenk show where we catch up on everything Shenk, everything that's been going through my mind. I will be doing a lot of interviewed podcasts coming up. So if you have recommendations for interviews you want to hear, tweet me at Princess Shenk. Also, if you're enjoying this podcast, please, please, please make sure to leave a review in the reviews on iTunes or Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. As always, do all of those things, please. Guys, have you ever saw somebody in a cast and thought, but is their arm really broken? Is that a bad thought to have? Because I remember there was this girl in like 5th grade. She really, really, really milked the whole cast thing to the point where I was like, this bitch is living the life. I want to break my arm so I can get attention like this and have people sign my arm all day. I remember people would just sign her arm in the middle of class, and that was an excuse to not have to focus. But like, Megan, you have been drawing on Haley's cast for the last 45 minutes. When am I going to get a fucking turn? And then when she got the cast removed, she just became, just a basic bitch, no respect anymore. I always wanted to have a cast and then get it removed and then be like, yeah, I was popular. Look how many people signed my cast. But yeah, this girl in 5th grade, pretty sure she had a cast for longer than she needed. And there's nothing grosser than having a cast for longer than you need. Right? Clean that shit. Also, I wonder if they do printed casts. What I'm saying is a fashion cast is where it's at. It's end times. It's time to experiment. If you have some medical tape at home or some cast materials, slide in my DMs. Let's make me a full body cast, and then I'll podcast in it. I just said I was going to podcast in a full body cast, so that's where my mental health is at. Have I gotten a haircut since this pandemic? I know a lot of people have been asking. They're like, Sarah, have you gotten a haircut since this pandemic? Your hair looks very long and strong. And the answer is no, I haven't gotten a haircut since this pandemic. Hold on. I'm going to take a sip of my Diet Coke. I know a lot of people know this about me, but I have a little bit of a Diet Coke thing. Girl loves a cool can of chemicals. Loves popping it open, cracking it open, getting to the bottom of shit. Woo! I opened a Diet Coke with my left hand, and I was so excited about it that I had to do an out loud woo. Diet Coke is my White Claw, is what I'm saying. I have so many thoughts about people who drink White Claws, but if I come for them, I may have no followers left. People love the claw, baby. I don't know what it is. First it started with LaCroix. Then the trend spread to the claw. LaCroix and claws, those weren't even around. LaCroix is the Snapple of 2020. In the 90s, Snapple was everywhere. It was so plentiful, it was annoying almost. I'm like, can I go somewhere without having to see Snapple? And then the tops had facts on them. Now I feel like Snapple is really, really streamlined and they only have the peach iced tea. Am I wrong on this? Can anybody correct me on the Snapple offerings? Perhaps send over some of their favorite Snapple flavors. I have a lot of questions about Snapple. I felt like it was really, really, really around heavily during the 90s. It was Dunkaroos and Snapples all fucking day, baby. Clear Pepsi, let's do it. Then all of a sudden, Snapple just became less present and meals were no longer supersized. And that is the story of life in the 90s. I feel that I am just at a place during this pandemic where if something no longer fits into my life, then I am going to remove it, whether it be bad clothes or a bad relationship. Why? Because life's too short. I think that the pandemic has really opened my perspective to a lot of the things that I want in my life. And it's really been a good opportunity to refocus and recenter and, strive for that balance. I've spent so much time in my life focusing mainly on my career, and now I don't have stand-up. So I'm just really trying to connect with you guys on the podcast, really trying to get to know you better on a one-on-one level. That's why I've been doing these solo pods, but I will be having interview pods coming up as well. Somebody asked me about, freeing if I could free any animal from the zoo, what would I be? And I did say flamingo, but I do have this really, really like really big want to hold a koala. And I don't know if koalas are even nice. And I have heard that koalas can carry chlamydia. Now, I don't know if that's true, but chlamydia hasn't stopped me from holding something cute in the past. So I don't think it's going to now. What I'm saying is if anybody has a koala, DM me. Yeah. I think it would just be fun to have an emotional support koala. I feel like anything's possible now with emotional support animals. I don't know if you guys heard, but Elon Musk is up to no good. He is trying to do some AI stuff and released it with pigs. I don't know. This is just me trying to interpret the little slivers I have of news, and I'm sure I'm regurgitating it in such a fucking disgusting way, and people are like, who is this ignorant bitch? But you know what? I'm here. I'm out here. I'm trying to connect with you guys. We're talking everything. We're talking Elon Musk pig AI shit to my favorite type of science, which I still don't know. I guess quantum physics. Yeah, I guess quantum physics. I'd like to buy a vowel. Somebody asked me if I like sushi and crab cakes. Yes, I love sushi, but you know what I'm not into? What's that? Uni. What is that? It's like yellow brain looking thing. Ugh. My aunt loves it. Whenever I go eat with her, she's like, and I'll get some uni, please. I'm like, uni? Uni? Whoa. Looks like a yellow brain. Have you guys ever seen it? Do you know what I'm talking about? If you've never seen uni, Google it. It'll blow your fucking mind. Blow the back of your head right off. I think that at a certain point, once you turn 12, you should no longer be allowed to have a twin bed. It should be against the law. There is nothing more unsexy than a man with a twin bed. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Why don't you just go ahead and have bunk beds then? Did I go on a date with a man who had Spider-Man sheets and a bunk bed that he shared with his brother? Yes. Does this surprise anybody? Probably not. Not based on the tales that I have told on this podcast before. Yeah. Can we talk open-faced sandwiches? Why? Why are they called open-faced sandwiches? Why do I even have to think of the word face while I'm eating a sandwich? Isn't it just a sandwich? I don't want to think about a face while I'm putting something into my face. Also, we don't call closed-faced sandwiches closed-faced sandwiches. We just call them sandwiches. What if I said, excuse me, I'd like to order a closed-faced sandwich? People would be like, I'm sorry, you're mentally ill. What's a closed-faced sandwich? Oh, it's a regular sandwich with 2 pieces of bread. Oh. There's also, what is it called when a tartine? That's just another word for an open-faced sandwich. The French like to do it fancy. They're like, oh, tartine. I mean, there's something classy about the way a tartine sounds versus an open-faced sandwich. Is a tartine even an open-faced sandwich, or am I just fucking shooting from the hip here? Sometimes you get knowledge that's just logged in the back of your head, and then you don't even know. You just tap into it in the middle of a podcast and just all starts coming out, and you're like, I think it's called a tartine. But I don't have a fact checker. Not here. Not in the Shenk at home studio. Diet Coke. Cheers. Somebody wanted to know about men's fragrances that I like. Here's the thing. I really don't care. Just don't go too strong. Nothing makes me less wet. Nothing makes me have a dry ass pussy more than an Axe body spray. If you have doused yourself in Axe body spray, you have basically put on the equivalent of Febreze. Yes, I stuttered while saying the word Febreze. It's not something I say regularly. I'd like to keep it that way. Febreze is what fraternity men do when they don't feel like cleaning. They say, oh, I Febrezed it. But guess what? Your towels still smell like mildew, Brent. Brent. Wasn't planning on unhatching all of that, all of my Febreze past issues with men. But here we are, and I am an open book. Yeah, no, I'm not into Axe. Don't fucking do that to me. And I'm not into anything real strong. I like an oil. I love an essential oil. Your girl loves an essential oil. I like a blend of different essential oils. People want to know how I stay sane, and I gotta be honest, I have a positive energy candle that I've been lighting every day, and does it make me feel better? Moderately. And I don't know if that is a placebo effect, but listen, you just gotta fake it till you make it. So if you guys need to get your own positive energy candle, fucking get online and order one. You know what I mean? I did it because it reminded me of Brody, and I thought it would be like a nice way to, welcome some new energy in. I believe in the power of positivity, and I believe in the power of thought, and I truly think that we can all live the lives that we want if we really, really watch our thoughts, because our thoughts create our reality. And that's a little bit about what I think about life. Guys, somebody wanted to know if I have a favorite bow tie. And the answer to that is I love all my children the same. No, different bow ties for different days. I have a black and white checkered bow tie. That's one of my favorites. I feel like that's kind of classic Alice in Wonderland feel. We love to see it. I also have a big pink bow that kind of screams, hey, I'm a birthday cake. And that's also part of my aesthetic. And I also love to see it. I also have a Western tie. Your girl loves a Western tie. I also love a collar, like this type of collar that I'm wearing. It's a Peter Pan collar. It's like a scalloped collar. I'm trying to get more into necklaces lately. Why? Because why not dress like a pirate? Why not layer in necklaces during a global pandemic? Wear pirate's booty around your neck. Show the world what you're working with. We're not going anywhere unless we're going to the store with masks on our faces. There's something so sad about seeing people walking around in 110-degree heat with masks on their face. Like, I'm sorry, what reality are we living in? It's also so crazy if you think about it that we've fully adapted to this new life and that human beings are so adaptable. We're like, you know what? It's fine. We'll just throw on our masks and act like this is fucking normal. If I could eliminate one food from my life for the rest of my life, I think it would be lox. Now, I know that the Jew community is going to be up in arms about this. They're going to say, hey, Weinshenk, what the fuck? You're a Jew. You don't like lox? No, I don't. My parents fed me too much lox as a child. And I realize this is a first world problem, but there's something about the texture. I'm a texture person. There's something about the slimy texture of lox that just does not vibe with your girl. I don't want salmon on my bagel. Nothing gets me more wet than a bagel in the morning, though. Lightly toasted, a little bit of chive sour cream. Cream cheese, sour cream, cream cheese. I'm a really big dairy person, and those are my splurges. When it comes to cheese, I love a goat, I love a feta, I love a jack cheese. I love most cheeses. So if I'm gonna splurge, it's gonna be on cheese. Don't know why I started talking about cheeses towards the end of this podcast, but I speak about what matters the most to me, and lately it's been cheese. Do I have plans to get back into playing my piano? Yes, I do. have I played it since the pandemic started? No, I really haven't. I've been telling myself I'm going to learn how to play this musical instrument. And now the musical instrument just sits in my room and looks at me like, hey, bitch, you going to play me or what? Yeah, my piano called me a bitch, which makes me feel like I would have been. The fact that I'm talking to my stationary objects in my room and I'm hearing my piano call me a bitch makes me truly feel like I could have easily been a Disney princess. All Belle does is talk to her fucking candlestick and her clock. Why can't I talk to my piano? I do realize that this is a Disney movie and that these are all fictional things, but sometimes a little fiction keeps things fun. What I'm saying is talk to your inanimate objects. If it's going to help you from DMing somebody you shouldn't, just do it. It's not a problem unless the inanimate objects talk back. That's right. You heard it here on Shenk. It's not a problem unless the inanimate objects talk back. Guys, so fun talking with you. Love connecting with you. Look out for a new episode of Shenk next Wednesday. Send any podcast questions or guest recommendations to Shenk, SHENK, .pod@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the podcast, please leave a review. If you have any questions, whether it just be regular shooting the shit questions that you want to ask me, you can tweet me at Princess Shenk, and I also put questions up every week for the podcast in my story, so you can look for that there as well. And special thanks to Oh Yeah Socks and Libra Shops for sponsoring this week's episode of Shenk. Check them out at Libra Shops on Instagram, at Oh Yeah Socks on Instagram, and I have a discount code for Oh Yeah Socks, Sarah 10. And all of that is in the description of this episode. Show my sponsors some love because they're keeping the show alive. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening to another episode of Shenk.